It turns out that Avengers Endgame's writers don't simply have a soft spot for deadly green alien warriors. In a recent interview with Cinema Blend, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely revealed that they had a specific reason for including the return of Gamora in their script, so the character would be available for James Gunn to use in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. You'll recall that of the many shocking deaths to be featured in Avengers Infinity War, Gamora's was one that seemed as if it would be permanent. She was forced to accompany her adoptive father Thanos to the planet Vormir, where anyone brave and/or determined enough could acquire the Soul Stone for a price. Thanos was informed by the stone's protector that in order to possess the stone, one must give up what they love, and it just so happened the only thing Thanos loved in the universe, his daughter, was standing right next to him.
I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again. Even for you.
Thanos hesitated for the briefest moments before chucking Gamora down to her doom from one of Vormir's rocky cliffs, securing the stone and eventually succeeding in his mission to snap half of all life in the universe out of existence. Gamora, however, like Loki and Heimdall, who met their ends in the film's brutal opening scene, didn't perish in the snap, but was killed outright by Thanos. Also, her death was the price for securing the Soul Stone. And as we learned when Black Widow sacrificed herself so that Hawkeye could get his hands on that very stone during the events of Avengers Endgame, such a death cannot be reversed. Marcus and McFeely, however, found a way around that problem by using the Avengers time-traveling Endgame shenanigans to reintroduce the 2014 version of Gamora, one who had not yet met up with the Guardians. In the Scribe's conversation with Cinema Blend, McFeely clarified that that particular element was basically put in place so that Gunn could have his entire team on deck for Guardians 3. He explained, "There are parts in Endgame that were written so that Gunn could do whatever he needs to do." McFeely also referenced that poignant Endgame deleted scene that made it clear that 2014 Gamora wanted nothing further to do with anyone. He said, "You saw the behind-the-scenes stuff where they all kneel, and Gamora sort of boogies off set. If the filmmakers had left that in, he would have gone, oh, she's alive, and she's over there. It's very vague now. I don't know what Gunn is going to do with it." Well, neither do we, but that's never stopped us from speculating. 2014 Gamora pointedly does not take off with the Guardians at the conclusion of Endgame. And really, why would she? She has no idea who these people even are. Where could she be heading off to? Parts unknown, obviously. But with her adoptive father gone and her relationship with Peter Quill never having been forged, there's really only one person in the galaxy she has any kind of kinship with, her sister Nebula, who is currently tagging along with the Guardians.
We should fight one another for the honor of leadership.
Sounds fair.
Well, it's not necessary.
It's not.
Perhaps Gamora will seek out Nebula in an attempt to get some answers about what in hell exactly happened with Thanos and the weird army of superpowered Terrans. Or maybe she'll head off into some forbidding corner of the galaxy and get herself into a jam, the kind of jam that her friends will be compelled to help bail her out of, even if she doesn't exactly know them yet. It's worth noting that Gunn wasn't blindsided by Gamora's fate in Infinity War, but was totally in the loop as to what Marcus and McFeely intended to do with his character, meaning that he's had plenty of time to mull over where to take her arc in Guardians 3. It would absolutely shock us if the deadliest woman in the galaxy was anything but key to the plot of the third Guardians movie. Heck, perhaps she'll even somehow find a way to rediscover the memories of her alternate timeline self, the one who died so that her father might succeed in his terrible mission. It would take some pretty hardcore narrative acrobatics, but if anyone is capable of pulling those off without shattering our suspension of disbelief, it's Gunn. In any event, the situation interestingly illustrates a kind of synergy necessary for all of these amazing franchises to exist within the same shared universe, and as McFeely noted, the extent to which filmmakers must be content to simply pass the ball to the next person to continue the story of any given character. McFeely said, "I like that little dangling piece of time travel. The bow wasn't completely wrapped up, and there was a little bit of an after effect. I don't know how it's going to affect the coming Guardians, but just leaving some strings when you're tying up this many strings, it's satisfying to know that there are a few still dangling." For as long as the Marvel Cinematic Universe exists, that is to say, until the Earth is actually swallowed up by Galactus, it seems likely that there will always be a few strings left for the next filmmaker in line to tug on. As far as this one goes, we're going to go ahead and guess that Guardians 3 will see Quill remember his way to Gamora's heart through the musical stylings of Elvin Bishop. His melodies are pleasant. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.